Well, hello there, YouTube.
So my friend from Texas comes, he went up across Canada and came down, and we were going to go to the Oregon State Fair. And once we get to, we see, the Salem next 3 exits, we decide, let's see how much money we have, and we ended up going to San Francisco. Well, his mom didn't hear from him in quite a while. So she calls the police and they start tracking. This was back in the days of traveler's checks,
Oh, yeah.
They started tracking where the traveler's checks were cached and stuff. And we end up back in Oregon City on the way back, and cops pull us over, and it was this holy freak out. I don't know if they thought I was the kidnapper or what, but you talking about being searched for that beer and the cops not looking in the cooler. I got a somewhat similar beer story. The beer up in Canada is much higher percentage of alcohol.
Uh-huh.
This was back when I think everything was like 3.2% here. I don't know if that's still true. But
no, I don't drink.
It's a big, I don't either. It's a big no-no to bring alcohol across the border. We're up at the races up in Coquitlam, Canada. And we decided to bring a couple of cases of Molson Canadian back. And I don't know how many times we've gone up there racing and we never got searched coming back across the border. And the one time we decide, well, we never get searched, let's grab a couple cases of this beer and bring it back. We get to the border crossing. Of course, it's the U.S. you're dealing with when you're coming back.
Right.
And he looks in the back of the van and asks the dumb question, "Are those your motorcycles?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I need you to pull over." So he pulls us over, makes us go inside and show proof. And I already knew this, from isn't that beautiful looking out over there?
Yeah.
But I knew to make sure you have everything showing that the motorcycles are yours. There's a little waterfall. That thing gets really big in the wintertime. Well, hell, you can't even see it now. But anyway, they search us. Wow, that static just went away as soon as I flipped that antenna up. That's crazy. But anyway, so he pulls us over and we're like, oh shit. They make us go inside, and I thought they were going to search while we were inside, but they wait till we come out and they follow us out. And it was an old 79 Chevy van, and it was one of those 12-seaters or whatever, and we took all but the first seat behind the 2 bucket seats up front, and it was made out of this heavy metal, and it would you could tie the motorcycles down against it. Well, sitting there plain as day, not even covered up, is 2 cases of Molson Canadian beer. And they're searching through all kinds of shit. They're looking through my toolbox and my gear bag, and they pull my racing suit out and shake it to see if stuff's inside it, and coats and stuff they're looking in pockets. And the whole time this beer is sitting there plain as day, we're going to jail, I don't know, or get fined. We don't know what's going to happen when they find this beer. But they let us go. Never said a word about the beer. And the crazy thing is, I was only like 18 or 19 years old at the time.
Yeah.
There was another time, there was this place across the river from Longview. It's Rainier, Oregon. You're probably, being around here, I'm sure you're familiar with that. But anyway, just across the bridge on the Oregon side was a place to ride bikes and ATVs. It was called Rainier Beach. That's not the actual name of it, it's what everybody called it. And so anyway, I go over with this is the 10 miles, the red zone. We're going to enter into it right here.
Man, that's a trippy view on the bridge.
Oh yeah. You come out here in the wintertime and there's nobody around, and you stop and look over that thing, that'll make your your feet sweat and your knees get weak. It is a long ass ways down. I guess kids come up here the reason I know this is because my son has told me, and throw things off of there, find big old boulders and toss them off of that thing. He says it takes the longest time for that thing to go down and land down at the bottom. But anyway, we went with a buddy. I think it was when I first moved out of my parents' house, and I was living with the guy. It was my first experience moving out of home, you know.
Right.
And he had a case of, it was beer. I don't know if you ever remember that. It was white label and just said beer. I think the Rainier Brewery Company is the one that made it. It was actually really good beer. But anyway, I had a case of that sitting in the middle of the seat. Well, Kelly and I were just dating. I mean, we just hardly even knew each other. And his name was Floyd. Floyd and I are out riding for hours, and we come back, and she's like balled up sitting in the car, and I go, "What the hell's wrong with you?" She goes, "I gotta go to the bathroom so bad." And I said, "Why don't you go out in the trees?" And she goes, "Every time I tried, a car or a bike or something would come by." So the nearest place was in Rainier, this little store. So I throw her in the truck, and I go hauling ass down this frontage road. I mean, there's never a soul on this road. The only people you ever see is guys with their trucks coming and going from riding out there. So I'm going about 60, 70 miles an hour down this road, and all of a sudden, woo! I look back, there's a goddamn Rainier policeman behind me. Guy pulls me over, and I'm literally like 17, 18 years old. And so he writes me up a speeding ticket, and he was this young red-haired kid, and went through the whole spiel. And I think I was just all nervous about being pulled over and thinking about her. She's just going to wet the seat here in a second. And we take off, we're driving away, and I look down between us, and there's that goddamn case of beer half drink. There's no way this cop didn't see that. But there again, he didn't say a word. I mean, maybe he obviously didn't notice it. I can't imagine him just turning a blind eye to that. And, you know, at the time, I'm sure I probably had a few of those beers too. I don't think I was impaired, but who knows, you know? Crazy.
I used to have a bunch of old Rainier beer memorabilia stuff from my wife's aunt, her great aunt.
Yeah?
Her husband worked for Rainier Beer back when they were real popular and real busy.
Oh, wow.
And he was actually one of the people in marketing. So not only did he have like dozens posters and stuff from Rainier Beer, the original stuff, I also managed to get a little like 45, like a little not long play, but the little short records.
Oh, yeah.
Of the commercials. Back in the day when the radio station played records, and
oh yeah,
the commercials were on records. And he actually had one of those. There was two commercials, one that was a motorcycle and one that was a frog.
Oh, really?
It was like the one side. It was like Rainier Beer, like Budweiser.
Oh yeah, I remember those commercials.
Budweiser totally ripped them off with their Budweiser thing.
Oh yeah.
But there was that one, and then there was this motorcycle that would sound you could Rainier Beer.
That's crazy.
And I had that. And it was like my prized possession forever, and I can't find it. I don't know where it went.
Wow, you just gave me a major flashback. I forgot all about those.
I was like so ecstatic that I found that, because they had a ton of records, like, because they would do like parties and stuff, and so they had this huge record collection from, I mean, as far back as the 20s.
No kidding.
And 20s and 30s, I think, yeah. But
I'm just going to do a quick stop so you can see over the edge here.
Wow, that is awesome, dude.
I was up here. Actually, I think I was on the Spider, and this place was closed, and I walked over to the edge. You know, it's crazy. When you walk over that edge, I mean, it's just like, whoa, but when you watch the video from the GoPro, it looks like it's just this sloping hill. It's like there's no impact to the video at all.
Yeah, that fisheye lens makes things weird.
Yeah.
Makes everything look slower, like as far as approaching.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wow, that is a steep drop off.
Isn't it though? I love this guardrail being here.
I bet you do.
I'm a big height chicken, hugely. Man.
Doesn't really bother me until I actually start thinking about it.
Yeah. Holy crap, that's a long ways down.
You ever been to the Grand Canyon?
Yeah.
There was one area that we went to, and you could like walk not only up to the edge, but there were people walking out off of like the little things sticking out.
Yeah.
And they're just sitting there and like, that makes me nervous just watching them.
Yeah. Yeah, I can watch somebody doing something like that and just unhinges me.
Yeah, it's like, like if that were my kids, man, I'd be like, get back here.
Yeah. God, that's got to be at least 1,000 feet down, wouldn't you think, or more?
At least.
So
good.
that helicopter's been gone. Them tours may be longer than what we think.
Could be.
Unless he snuck by when we were coming up the road. I guess he could have. Because I think they come back the same way. They run right along the valley. It is cool when you see them come through here.
Gives you a little perspective. I mean,
Yeah.
I was just thinking this would be a great like base jumping for like those hang gliders.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great spot, just kind of jump off and cruise out.
Yeah, there was one of the turns back there right before we got up to this. And there must be, I've never walked out there, but there must be a trail out there. You'll see cars parked there, and that's where they're leaping off. But that the South Fork is on the drop side of that mountain. Actually, you can kind of see it. You can kind of, it's hard to tell, but you can see there's a valley between the highest point and the one that's in front of us here.
Right here?
Yeah. Can you see how there's two mountain ranges right there?
Yeah.
And the South Fork is going up that.
Huh.
But you can get all the way to this one end, and you're up really high, and you can see the top of that sharp little peak over there. But you're like looking across a deal like this, looking north. But you can see the open hole of the mountain there. But up at Johnson Ridge, it's cool. You are just looking square into it.
How long has it been since you've been in there? Like up to the Johnson Ridge?
I did it last year, and I only spent just a couple of minutes up there. I rode the DR up here.
Okay, yeah.
But it's always cool. It never gets old.
Can you see the dome that's building back up?
Yep, you can see it.
Sweet.
It's not so prominent anymore because it built up so much. It just almost looks like it's part of the mountain. But you can tell, especially if you go home tonight and look at old pictures of it and see how hollow that thing was at one point. And you're going, wow, that thing is really filled in.
Yeah.
And what was that, 03, 04, when it was doing all its little spurts and it was going through that growing spree? They said at one point, at the rate that it's growing, by 2011, the mountain would be back to its original height. But unfortunately, as they predicted, it would stop, and it did.
Yeah, that would be something. I'd be kind of worried if it got that big again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that much energy to build it that fast?
Yeah, what if it blows towards town next time, you know?
Or just decides it's too loose and just starts rolling down.
Crazy. .84 it's showing. It feels it too.
Mm.
Especially, wearing black in the sun.
Pants.
Yeah.
I can't do the whole no protective gear thing.
I need to look into some of those pants. I've actually seen some videos where guys have gone down, you know, kids screwing around doing wheelies and stuff, and them things flat saved their butt.
Yeah, there's one video. The guy was doing jumping off the back of the motorcycle and sliding on ice. It was ice racing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, those tires, they got them bolts that they sharpen into points.
Oh yeah.
And he
Oh.
he slid off and got caught in the tire. I'm behind you.
Oh jeez.
And he was wearing a pair of these jeans, and it saved him from being completely gutted. Literally saved his balls.
That's crazy.
And that video sold me on these jeans. That and the fact that they make them in my size. Not easy finding pants for giant midgets.
Giant midgets.
I got very odd size. My legs are so short. I have a 27-inch inseam. So.
Yeah, even if I've got a 30-inch inseam, and I have a hard time finding pants too. You can find 30 for some reason. My waist size in 32 seems to be the perfect, you know, big guy jeans.
Yeah.
But the 30s, that's a whole nother world. These are those trees I was telling you that they don't have quite the impact they used to, but
I can kind of see what you're talking about because they're all linear.
Yeah.
Makes it look like there's a fence or something over it.
Yeah, yeah, it does. There's another passing up here, but man, it's weird. It's how it's like weird to try to focus in on them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's the 3,000 foot mark. Look at all the people. They're coming down off there like that was a car club or something, wasn't it?
Tailgater.
The Elk Rock lookout. This is Elk Rock here to our left. There was
the highest point.
Yeah, I guess this mountain, Elk Rock, was supposed to be covered with loggers that day, and I forget why they weren't up here, but they were not. This is just a lookout. We'll just stop here for a second, take a peek. Oh, come in a little hot there. We'll just, all the bikers park here anyway. We'll just land it right here in the middle. We'll be rebels. Cobble.
Right. Turn off the noise maker. So what mountain is that in the background?
That's Mount Adams right there. It's a really cool road that I've never gone out and explored out there that I want to do someday. But man, that would be a long ride.
I don't think this is the brick wall. Or maybe it was different brick. But there's a picture my parents have of us kids. We're sitting on a wall, a little brick wall, and then you can see the stuff in the background. The mountain in the background.
Yeah, there used to be a different, it was kind of like it was made up of rocks and stuff here.
Yeah.
It's been a few years since they did this. In fact, I didn't even know they were doing it. I just came up here and it was done. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, look, the like the random block size.
Yeah.
Yeah, a rock wall. Oh, that's going to be a great picture right there.
Jeez, imagine. Well, you probably wouldn't live to tell it, but if you could, imagine being here that day. What that must have been like.
Good stories to tell in heaven.
No shit.
Oh, you guys should have been there. Oh.
It was sick. There's still little patches of snow up here.
Really?
The last time I was up,
Oh.
it was cold enough that it felt like there should be, and I didn't realize it until I left. And I go, oh, there's snow on the ground right there.
Huh.
Cool.
Catch up to you here.
Whole slew of bikers there. It's weird that when you fall and the mountain just kind of like disappears behind the trees, and you're so close to it, it's like eerie.
Yeah.
Especially when it gets where the snow is melting like that. And you know, when it's just a big white snow mountain, that's cool, but it's really cool to see the rocks and stuff on it. And then she presents herself.
Right around.
So Coldwater's right here. We ain't got anybody behind us.
Nah, we're good.
Yeah, there's some kind of a car club thing.
Hondas.
Yeah. And this got grown up really big too, and at some point they came through and cleared it out too.
No stopping on pavement, huh? Did I lose you?
No, I'm right here.
Oh, okay. It was like suddenly went quiet, like not even
Yeah,
any wind.
It's funny, these 20S's can do that. They can just, there's, you know, the other ones, they always seemed like there was crackling and static and all kinds of carrying on. Now, I've never seen anybody parked up. I didn't know that was even there.
Awesome. Camper party.
Look at the little pond sitting there. What the hell? I never noticed that. I've only been up here 9 bajillion times.
I was looking at the mountain.
Yeah.
There's some water on this side too.
Yeah. There's a little walkway. We'll, if you don't mind, we'll whiz down. It's just, trail just pops you right down to it.
Sounds good.
I'll swing over here where this Volkswagen is. You don't think this thing's loud enough that it's offensive, do you? Maybe at startup, with that stupid rev it does. I was like, Jesus.
Remember the kickstand, so don't drop the bike.
Little water skipper's going wild right there. We're down here walking around the Coldwater Lake. We stopped on the visitor side. The other side is a boat ramp. Beautiful down here.